Hey, hi, welcome to Under the Hat. I'm your.
Good morning.
We're having some magical issues because I expected my co-host Shidazel to be right here, but she's not. So if you'll bear with us, give us a second. We will return with we fix these dimensional issues with my magical co-host. So we'll be right back.
Pardon me, I got stuck in a little bit of a pocket over here. As soon as you dig me out, it should be okay. Yeah, fucking
You're
good
back.
morning, good noon, good night to all of our wizards, our wizard friends across the globe. Welcome to Under the Hat, your most magical lifestyle guide for all things arcane and current in the world of wizarding. I am 50% of your hosts, Shidazel, Demon Vessel, and Sorceress of the Clawing Coast.
Hello. And I am Zadra, I already forgot my epithet. Oh man, the Blood Sword of Trader's Village. Off to a strong start.
What a blood sword? What are your duties as a blood sword? What is
As a
something
blood sword.
to you?
I sword the blood, obviously. No, it's more of an office job than anything. I just do like clerical duties for Trader's Village. When they need stuff like moved around, I work their databases. I do some SQL stuff for Trader's Village.
Well, that's great. We have a very special Halloween episode for you today, celebrating this most wonderful holiday. We are both in costume, as you can see. Zadra, who are you? What are you as?
I'm Adrian Brody, the star of the Matrix. I'm Neo from the Matrix.
Adrian Brody was the star of the Matrix.
Adrian Brody, the star of the Matrix.
Because I'm dressed as Neo, the character Neo from the Matrix.
Oh, I'm Neo. Yeah.
You're Neo, as played by Adrian Brody.
Right, the star of the Matrix.
Can you do an Adrian Brody impression of him playing Neo the Matrix?
Yeah. I got you. I know Kung Fu.
I got one. Okay, ready. Welcome to my Matrix. we need to get out of here. We need to get out of this Matrix.
He doesn't say that.
Matrix.
I'll take the red pill. You got one?
I will never take the blue pill. I want to get out of this Matrix.
I think that's all I remember. You got one more? You got more?
It's me, the British Neo. I gotta get out of the British Matrix. Nothing's real in it. We gotta get out of here. That's for the British dub that they did. That's the one I watched growing up.
Groovy, baby.
There was also the Italian dub.
Shagadelic.
That was a famous. Yeah, I think Adrian Brody ad-libbed that when he was. From what
well, he was under a lot of pressure. He took the role very seriously, I think. Yeah.
To me, as the Italian Neo, this is spaghetti not real. We gotta get out of here. Eating real spaghetti in the can.
Not real. Because he directed too. Yeah, so we're clearly feeling the holiday spirit. We as wizards love Halloween, right? Like, favorite holiday? Do you have a more favorite holiday?
No, absolutely under no circumstances. No.
Right.
All of them are trash. All of them are dirt under my wizardly boot.
One thing I was thinking about right before we went on is there a wizard of Halloween? Like, is there so Santa, the Wizard of Christmas?
Wizard of Christmas. Yeah.
Easter Bunny, Wizard of Easter. I don't know. There's different wizards. There's like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. Maybe Freddy Krueger's a warlock. I don't know.
A wizard. Yeah, he's like a dream specter. Some people have argued that Christ was a sort of wizard. I don't know if that's
Christ.
I don't know.
Okay.
Fishes and miracles, early magic. I don't know. Wizard of Halloween. Yeah, I don't know if there are any wizards who have been. I'm thinking back through the annals of history. There have been wizards doing stuff on Halloween, but it's not like we have one.
Right.
Single...
There's no mascot, which is why it's the best holiday.
Halloween doesn't have. I feel like the mascot of Halloween is the humble jack-o'-lantern.
What about the headless horseman? Maybe. No, it doesn't feel right. You can't say that the headless horseman is the mascot of Halloween. It doesn't make sense.
And it doesn't, and I'm not gonna say it. Okay.
I'm not either. I said not to say it. Uh, well, that's yeah, great. Off to a strong start over here. You want to talk more Halloween? Do you have any like Halloween?
Yeah.
Do you okay? So like, I would say, yeah. I mean, I wore this last year. What were you last year?
I was Bugs Bunny,
That's great.
but like sexy. I was like a sexy Bugs
Sexy
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. Okay. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean that sounds
It's
great.
hard to make him sexier than he already is, you know. But
I was about to say like when I envision sexy Bugs Bunny, it looks exactly the same. But
just the same as Bugs Bunny.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, okay, so that's why you were Neo last year, which I thought would make room for me being Neo this year, because I'm like, there's no way she's gonna do Neo twice. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of my move. I'm sorry. It's okay that we're
yeah.
both like what I was gonna say is every member of the Matrix dresses the same, and so you could say you're Trinity or you could say you're Morpheus. What's the
Could be
guy?
Trinity.
Who's the rat? The rat of the guy
Oh,
who
the
rats
guy
him
who
out.
wants to
Cipher.
eat the steak. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Cipher.
yeah.
Yeah,
Up to you.
I don't
It's.
know.
I mean, like, I'm just spitballing here. I think it's totally fine. We could go to the same party, and both say that we're Neo. It'd be totally fine.
Because one of us could be Neo in the Matrix, one of us could be Neo out of the Matrix.
That's great.
The
Yeah.
famous. Yeah,
We could maybe
yeah,
yeah, we could just like make sure we're never in the same room, right? And then like everyone will just think there's one person there
yeah,
who's in the
yeah.
Matrix.
With a Matrix-like twist to the real world. It would be cool.
Yeah. We could show up with red pill and blue pill candy.
That's a great
Do
idea.
you like candy? Candy's like the food
No,
to me, candy is the food of Halloween.
candy is the food of Halloween, and as I get older, I'm 226 years. The older
That's
I get, the harder it is for candy to agree with my systems. Because when I eat the candy, I feel it coursing through my normal vein, through my blood veins and my mana veins, and it feels like it's clogging up all the channels. I get a headache, and like the magic, it just doesn't come out. I can't channel it as well. Um, but God, I would suffer the consequences of a Reese's peanut butter cup. There's
yeah,
not
I
a
was
day, Halloween or not, any day. You know what? I'll eat one of them. That's not a problem.
yeah, I personally think candy corn makes me a stronger magician, a stronger wizard.
You
So
like candy corn?
yeah, I mean, I also love it, and so maybe there's like a little bias there. It's the
I
most
heard
magical candy, right? Like, is there a more candy of the magical world than candy corn?
no. You do have a point. I heard that there has not been new candy corn made since like 1917,
Well, it's
and it's
all yeah.
always
It's
been
like you know how there's that one person who made the. I'm gonna butcher this story, but it's like they were able to cure cancer because they found someone who made like cells who like fight cancer, and so they still have her cells somewhere. There's like an original
right.
candy corn, and all the candy corn in the world is
Uh-huh.
split off from the candy corn.
Mhm.
So that's just some candy corn lore, but I mean, I guess also we I don't know what's next on the ledger. I feel like we are rambling about candy.
Well, okay, so we talk about the candy, but I wanted to talk about our Halloween tradition because Halloween is such a big deal in the wizarding world. I feel like we all have our own sort of way of celebrating. I am from the old country, across a couple oceans, uh, from the country of Gahul, the city of Belarus, where the wizard city, as it's referred to in the
Yeah, we all know
my
what it's
family
say.
we all know what, yeah, we all know where the wizards go, and that's from where I'm from. I'm from a very old family. I've had wizards up my family tree forever. Very little like new outside non-magic blood. So the ways that we celebrate are very traditional. There's some bloodletting, there's some facing east, lighting a candle, making some prayers, staring at the moon at night, just kind of channeling, just, very
Yeah.
concentrated conduit kind of intercosmic to
Mm-hmm.
terrain sort of channeling. There's also this extremely traditional way of preparing eggs. We always have to eat that. No one likes to do it, but it's just like we've been doing it for so long. That's like, is this necessary for the magic? Is it not? I don't know. It's been like 8 generations.
So
We
they're
might
not
as well
good.
keep. No, they're terrible. They're terrible. Yeah, they're like the way you prepare them is you crack an egg, whisk it around in like a hot skillet,
Like
and
that
you
kind
don't
of
put
sounds like
any
scrambled
seasoning.
eggs.
What eggs?
Scrambled eggs in the
Scrambled
normie
eggs.
world. I think they just scramble them, and it sounds like how you're
Scrambled
doing it,
eggs.
right?
I like that. Well, we call them hat eggs. I don't know where that came from, but okay. So here's the thing: you put them in this skillet and you whip them around until they kind of coagulate into like a brain-like texture. No seasoning, none, not allowed.
Okay.
And then you also strain some like white beans. Uh, but okay, actually, you do the bean thing like a week beforehand. Bury them, dig them up, put them in the eggs.
You're so
And I
old
guess
world.
it's yeah, I know. It's something about like the Earth's like resonances also like changing a little bit about the beans and they're going into unseasoned eggs and the eggs are like the moon and like the energy of the moon is inside the egg and we crack open the moon.
The
Like that's
energy
like
of the moon. Yeah, no,
anyway, yeah. So it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was gonna say I respect the moon and nature and all of that
Yeah,
within my own wizard practicing. But I grew
you
up in
have.
a much more modern family, I think, where we
How do
didn't.
you how do you celebrate Halloween?
Okay,
What was your
Halloween over here at my place is like so I'm like 10 hanging out with my family and so one thing about my family is my dad not magic at all. My mom totally super
okay?
wizard like. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I think that's kind of why I have the mannerisms that I have. We
Uh,
have differences between me and Sheeta Zell. Um,
we do have many differences.
yeah, we're looking at each other. Yeah, me and Shitazel, we are, we just did a really good look at each other.
No, no, we did. We're looking.
Yeah, I know.
You're here. I know you're.
I'm right here.
I'm
Um,
seeing you do it.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're roommates. We're both professional wizards.
Yes.
We're newer friends, but how did we meet? Like, how did we find each other as roommates?
I remember locking eyes with you at the market, and
Oh,
I was holding this great big bowl of frog eggs, and I remember you had this like bushel of like mushrooms, and I'm like, I was about to go get those same mushrooms, and I remember you were about to go get these same frog eggs.
yeah. No, is one thing that's very cool about us and our roommate situation is that our grocery needs overlap all the time because we're both wizards. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. But anyway, so
yeah.
celebrating at my house, I have this funny story about my dad that I wanted to tell where when he was a child and his non-magic mom was making a costume for him in like the 70s. She made a suit of armor out of linoleum tiles. And I think that is so cool. And I just, for some reason, it's just burned into my head. There's no magic in that
There's so
story at
much.
all. But I think that's
Right,
very
I mean,
different.
but there's so much. The magic is the love of like your mom hacking up some linoleum to make a funny costume
Yeah,
for you.
100%. Yeah. No, it's very crafty.
That's so good.
But yeah, I was a lot of Star Wars characters growing up. I think a lot of my magical abilities were latent also, and whenever you have latent magical abilities, you get bullied, right? And there's always like
Yeah.
in stories whenever someone gets bullied and then they have latent magical abilities and you end up injuring or worse to your bullies. Pretty typical. So if you're out there and you're getting bullied, I think you should maybe search inside yourself for latent magical abilities. And yeah, and just
Did you do worse? Did you? Because you said
did I
hurt
do
or
worse?
worse. Did you do worse?
Moving on. So, yeah, to me, Halloween is about going to the lake. If you have a quarry, I think a quarry is another great place to go have a normal Halloween, like a normal person Halloween, non magic. Yeah, I don't know. I really only use my magic to like pay my rent. Really, I'm more of a slacker mage, I think. So, um, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Just put on a goofy costume. Go to the lake. One time when I was at the lake, one of my friends crushed up a pill of Klonopin on a math textbook and snorted it. So maybe you could do that. Um,
Did that activate their magical powers? Their latent powers?
I yes. What that does is it lowers your frame rate, so you can clip through clip through whatever bounds you find yourself in.
See, this is the difference between old world magic and new world magic. They talk about like half presses and clipping and frames unlost. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's new world magic.
That's a new world.
Yeah.
And that's just so outside my expertise. But that's why we're good roommates. We complement each other's skill sets, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so. Um, all the time I'm learning things whenever I'll walk into the kitchen and she Giselle will be, just like applying soap to dishes like for some reason, and
Yeah.
little things around there around the house.
That's not so much magic as just like, taking care of
Who
stuff.
does
Like
that? Come on.
you can, well, here's a handy tip. If you apply soap to dishes and then kind of scrub, like, okay, the same motion where I show about the scrambling of the eggs. I like that word. I'm going to use that word more. Scramble the soap around on the dish and stuff, and it'll get clean. Rinse it off, dry it off, and then you can, after you let it dry, you can put the dishes away. I've noticed that that's a thing that like is different between you and me. Um, in a number
Yeah, you saying I leave dishes out? Okay, all right. Yeah, but anyway, do you have one of these? I have one of these.
Oh, I have one of these. Oh, we have one of these. Okay, so it's a Halloween episode. You know what we gotta do? We gotta carve a pumpkin. This is for as many differences as there are in the Halloween celebrations. Between Xanax, blood rituals, doesn't matter. Everybody loves a pumpkin. So we're gonna go ahead.
Everybody loves a pumpkin. Yeah.
Everybody loves a pumpkin.
Everybody loves
What's wrong
a
with a
pumpkin.
pumpkin?
Do you want to say it? Do you want to say everybody loves a pumpkin?
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Everybody. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Okay, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
I,
1,
can't-
2, 3.
Everybody loves a pumpkin.
Everybody
What are we
loves a
doing? Okay. Are you ready to cut into it? Do you like? What
I'm
do you?
ready.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
I'm taking the glasses off for this.
I
We're gonna
I
hack
can't see. Do
people
you want to
from
like
that.
look at the chat at all? That's something I didn't think about.
Again, that's a new world kind of word that I don't
this is
understand.
right.
I trust
right.
you.
Imagine a magic
understand.
book or something.
I have those.
Yeah. Like how like sometimes I can't bridge this gap for you. You're just gonna have to Google it, which is just gotta explain Googling the sheet of Zell. Okay. I am gonna have to take my glasses off to read and to probably
Divine
operate
answer.
the knives.
We have chickens. I don't need a Google. We've been through this.
Yeah, Sheetazelle
hack 'em
reads the
open
bone.
or
Like
not?
when Sheetazelle needs to know the weather, she like takes her chicken bones and like sees with them. What's up?
Just go on it. Just go on the hill. Just run up a hill and close your eyes, and then you can feel what the weather's gonna do.
I'm just gonna set my pumpkin on the table. No, see, it's not. It's a magic table. Oh no, I'm not lined up here. Hold on. You're good. You keep going. You're hacking away.
I am going to town on this little sumbitch.
Okay, I'm gonna go to town.
This is the right thing to do. You know how like you ever like have an inclination like you're walking through a park and you like find some berries and you eat it off of a bush where you're just like, yes, this is what me as like a being on this earth was intended to do. None of this like driving around in cars or this Google situation or whatever. I'm just like I'm hacking into a pumpkin. I'm revealing what's inside. I'm eating a berry. I'm getting in touch with nature.
Yeah, I'm excited to eat the insides of the pumpkin. But what was I gonna say? I had a thing. Oh, I guess I was gonna say something about geometry. I don't know. I one of the things I do as a wizard is I was gonna say, yeah, it's like whenever I'm not thinking about anything, I revert to thinking about an equilateral triangle, and geometry is a
center.
huge source of my magic power. Whereas Sheeta is more, and you'll learn about this as you hang out with us. Sheetazelle is a sorceress, and Sheetazelle uses like body magic, and Sheetazelle has a lot of lateral quickness. Sheetazelle's great in the paint, great on the perimeter. She's just very mobile and very ready to do body magic. Whereas
Get me on the side of the key, and I will get those. I will take that pass from you and get this. I'm a facilitator.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like a Chris Paul. No, you're like a Russell Westbrook. I'm like a Chris Paul. You're like a Russell Westbrook. I'm like a Chris Paul. She doesn't know what that means.
Is there? I don't know what that is, but I trust you.
Have you ever held a basketball?
I've looked at a basketball. I've held the image of one in my mind.
Great.
I've imagined
That's the same thing. So I did great. I've already scalped mine. We're gonna pull it out. How do you pull it out? How do you do you get under it and do you lever it? You do.
Yeah, listen. This is for you. This is for you to. Why don't you? This is maybe an exercise of you to learn more about body magic, where you use your intuition to interact with the natural world.
Okay, you want me to grow? Got you.
I want you to grow as a little wizard,
um.
It is a mess in here.
Ooh. I forgot what the inside looked like of a pumpkin. It's been like 200 years for me. Okay.
Damn.
That's really loud. So I'm gonna use a different implement to pull stuff out of it. So what are you drawing on your pumpkin? What are you gonna cut out of your pumpkin?
I'm making a little guy. I thought that it
A
would be
little
fun to
man?
make like a little effigy of a little
Oh, my
man
whole.
with like a tiny little
I
face.
can't get my. Oh, we gotta make
Now,
it
for
bigger.
all you non-wizards out there, here, can we get a shot of this? This is what the inside of a pumpkin looks like. If you're not a wizard, you probably don't know this, but that's what's inside of it. You have to spoon it out. You could eat it. I think that's a fine thing to do. Some people roast the seeds. Others just, I've seen like hermits just go to town on this raw. But I'm not a hermit. I'm not a warlock. I don't do weird stuff with goats. Um, Warlocks are always doing stuff with goats.
Yeah, Shidazel likes goats apparently, and doesn't want warlocks to. That's how they make their money.
It's true. I can't judge.
Completely hypnotized by the. My pumpkin is an inch and a half thick. You could not. I would love to shoot this with a magic gun. Sounds very fun.
Do we have those?
Do we have those? Shidazel doesn't. But anyway, you're gonna make a funny little man. I'm
making a funny little man.
I'm gonna do one of my. I'm known for drawing perfect circles. As a mage of knowledge, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is I'm more of a head high, whereas
That's right.
Sheeta's more of a body high. I can't get my stuff out. Do you need to get the stuff out? Does the stuff?
I'm taking all of this stuff out because I think that's going to muddy whatever I'm trying to do. It has been a minute since I've done this, 200 years about.
I'm taking them out like one seed at a time. The chat is saying that we need to get the stuff out. Okay, so.
Sure, like they know better.
Do you want to answer some questions? One thing is, it is already time for our special guest. Would you?
It's already time for a special guest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a show about what's going on in the world of wizardry, and one of the things in the world of wizardry are wizard celebrities. They're influencing our culture. They're influencing the trends. They're making us ask big questions and look at weird outfits. So we have a special resident expert to help us gaze into the world of wizard celebrity, and that is none other than
Hello.
Alabaster. This is our friend Alabaster
Hello,
Chuffin.
How
Hi,
are you? So nice to see you both. I haven't seen you both in so long.
Nice to see you, Alabaster. How are you doing?
Your energy
God,
is
you look
infectious.
Oh, thank you. I'm hearing this all the time. It's so nice to see. I don't think I've seen you two since Lindsay Lohan opened that Planet Hollywood in the Pain Dimension. What a party that was.
Oh my God, that was nuts.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember that.
I was drinking
Was
Mai
that a-
Tais.
was that a-
What's up?
we were slamming Mai Tais. See, that's the thing. I don't remember anything else but 9 Mai Tais being in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Don't remind me. You were terrible, Shitazo. You have got many skeletons in your closet. You're glad that I'm not doing a segment on you.
Yeah, no, please don't.
I
do that.
am. Yeah, in today's age, I wouldn't be able to survive that. Much like Michael Jordan in his heyday is lucky he didn't have Twitter. I am lucky that Twitter didn't exist when I was in my heyday. So, yeah. So, what do you got for us?
Yeah, what you got for us?
Now, we are, I hate to gossip, of course, but
Right.
we have some serious news on the horizon. I don't know where to start with this. Perhaps we should start with something a little simple, something you probably all have heard about quite recently. David Copperfield, of course. David Copperfield, Sorcerer Supreme, all known and loved, has been one of the possibly most famous wizards in the world for the past 30, 40 years. Yes. Well, it looks like your bitterness towards David Copperfield has been vindicated finally,
Nice.
as turns out, not quite the magical man that we all thought he was. Has been stripped of his wizard's robe and hat. After it turns out he was just a regular human being using illusions and tricks to fool the public.
I fucking knew it.
I
I fucking knew it.
I cannot.
told you.
Yeah, I know this.
I remember, yes, there have been whisperings about this for a very long time. Finally confirmed, the whistle has been blown, and he is no longer going to have his Vegas residency. That has been removed to be given to
Vegas away from the Copperfield.
You cannot be having tricksters in Vegas.
No. That's why Penn and Teller, tried and true wizards, right? The Blue Man
Right,
Group,
absolutely.
tried and true. We all know
Yeah.
them. We all love them. They're certified. They're accredited. I am bleeding a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Was this
Just
a
got a little blood in the
pumpkin?
pumpkin. It's okay. I'm okay. Got a lot more where that come from.
I don't know. How did you manage to cut yourself by stabbing a pumpkin one-handed on your lap? I thought you had the technique down.
It can
Perfectly.
be very safe to do that.
Alabaster. So
yeah,
cheeky.
I'm a rascal.
I think that, I mean, heaven forbid any tricksters or fraudsters ever, get themselves rooted in Vegas. I feel like keeping that place as clean and ideologically pure as possible is
It's like Six Flags.
is a priority. Yeah,
Essential.
absolutely. Like essential. Well, that's great news for me as far as vindicating my own biases. I love it when that happens.
Yeah, well,
So
you don't like tricks. You don't like being tricked, which is understandable. But I can respect a good illusion. Just so we're all clear.
But you have to be clear about it. You can't lie about it.
This is
not,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I completely
there's no
agree.
anti-human bias here. I'm not saying that it's not okay to be a human doing tricks. I'm just saying you cannot present yourself as a supreme sorcerer for all these years if all you are doing is mirrors and smoke.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That was his biggest trick of all.
Oh, I love the mirrors and the smoke trick. Amazing. When he made all that smoke appear with the mirrors. Oh. Of course, now we know how he did it. We were leafing through the tomes trying to figure out how is he making the smoke appear. Just a machine, after
It's
all.
a machine. Who were
Just
the
a
Tiger
machine.
guys? Do you remember the Tiger guys of Las Vegas?
The Tiger guys.
What were their
Siegfried and
names?
Roy?
Siegfried and Roy. Magic, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we got confirmation. One of them died recently, and that was the confirmation we need. As obviously, only wizards go to heaven, and there he was. So it must have been.
That's great to hear. I'm happy for him.
happy
Wishing
for
you the best, Siegfried or Roy. Happy for you. Best of luck up in your next steps. Right on to bigger and better things.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you got anything else for us?
Absolutely, yes. So let's go on now to Frankie Muniz, shall we?
Ooh.
Oh, another.
I was gonna say another
are there
one of
any
Steve's
wizards
enemies.
that you like? Yeah. So are there any wizards that I could mention that you would be happy to hear about? I feel maybe not.
The
Frankie
mask.
Muniz. I mean, what a ride Frankie Muniz has had from boy star to race car driver to Shia LaBeouf rival enemy. And
I didn't know about that.
And then, of course, who could forget when the Gem of Solomon turned out to be in his possession, and he was in fact a powerful warlock.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's how he.
I mean,
that makes sense.
what
Like
a
with
few
his
years.
body, right? Like he looks like a baby trapped in an old man's body, right? Am I wrong?
It does. Yeah.
Exactly. That was exactly as it turned out. That he was, in fact, an ancient and powerful spirit who had been with us for many, many centuries, and just completely slipped his mind. Now trying to make a comeback in the acting world, though. As is natural, the spotlight called. He's we can all agree one of our greatest screen talents, and it was worse for his absence. So he is trying to reinvent himself as something of an art house darling now. It doesn't want to. He wants to kind of escape the boyhood roles.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but he's going about it in all the wrong ways. He's you hear about these art exhibits he's doing. He's getting into fights in the invisible bars, and he is. It turned out at his his latest premiere had magicked away his own head as a statement against the nature, the trappings of fame, and replaced it with a floating question mark.
Okay.
Supposedly as some sort of commentary on what we are all
That's so
asking of
cool
him.
I
Some
wish I was
kind of
that
quote.
cool.
Some.
Oh,
You
man,
don't
I'm
want to be
covered
like that.
in pumpkin juice. I forgot how juicy these guys were.
One of the juiciest, as has been mentioned, we all love the pumpkin juice. As a kid, I can remember being given a glass of pumpkin juice at boarding school and thinking, yes, this is what I like. My young boy palate, I'm adoring this cool glass of sour squash juice.
Did you? Okay, now hold on. Alabaster, I've never asked you where you were from, because you said you were in boarding school. Did you go to Wizard Academy immediately after that? Did you find where did you specialize your kind of school of magic?
Well, I was at the International School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The Paris next to the American School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in Paris, and then I went on to study economics and potioneering at Cambridge. So I am, I've traveled around quite a lot. Obviously, during my final year at Cambridge, I was there with Stephen Fry, and that got me interested in the whole world of celebrity and stardom. Obviously, he went his way, I went my way. I'm more concerned with the lifestyle. I loved being around the fame and the glitz and I was just, I had access to all this information, all this drama, and as I said, I obviously abhor to share talk tales out of school.
But, you don't want to be a gossip.
Absolutely not. But I feel I have a duty. This is news. These are the people who represent us in the wider world.
Absolutely. It's important. It's important the way that we shape our media narratives about wizards. I think every wizard should care about that. And so when you have guys like David Copperfield just tarnishing the good name of wizardry, it's not good. Like when Alex Rodriguez did steroids, it was really let me down, not as a player, as a wizard, So it's frustrating. I get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shall we move on then, in that case, to Magic Gary, a favorite? I mean, surely even Shadazzle, fan of Magic Gary, yes?
I do like Magic Gary. I do like all of his tricks and hijinks.
I mean, he's so down to earth, isn't he? Salt of many earths. Really, Magic Gary, a wonderful man, really a wizard's wizard.
A wizard's wizard, yes.
It's just hard not to like. You talk about infectious energy. I mean, Magic Gary, just no wonder. I mean, he got his start as a young boy. Magical, floating, moving pictures of him were just spread. It went viral. This man who
I remember the pranks. Yeah.
The pranks, yes. I mean, a wonderful sense of humor. This man, just very into the craft. That's what I love. He likes to have fun.
Absolutely.
But he's serious about wizardry. Has unfortunately got into a spot of bother recently. As it turns out, obviously, with the reality show, with the Wizard Garage, spun off into all these products, these merchandises. Had his own range of dragon stakes. Simple stakes for simple wizards. Right. A range of marinades for them.
Marinades, yeah. No, we've all seen the Magic Gary marinades in the item shops, and on Etsy.
Kind of expensive.
Absolutely, and much loved in the community. I'll be honest, I serve them at my own backyard barbecues when I'm feeling a little more down home. However, the spot of bother I mentioned, it comes from. Turns out the FDA did some testing on some of his new dragon steaks after a recipe change, and it does unfortunately turn out there were actually horse steaks that were being sold in these item shops, which,
that's
as you all know,
problem.
that is a problem. again, it's the trickery. I mean, obviously, in France, quite a common substitute for dragon in
I was about to
recipes.
say.
I was curious. I didn't know. I was thinking,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm in the States and I'm buying a dragon steak, I think I'm just expecting horse. I don't know. Maybe that's different in France, but
Maybe. I mean, again, I think it is just about knowing what you're putting in your victims' bodies. Really, you don't want to come up with a curse, a hex, a love potion, God forbid, and find out that you're simply putting secretariat in your betrothed's drink without the knowledge.
are they good? Have you
Yeah.
had them?
Are they good?
Well, this is the where I believe he will bounce back from this, because they are spectacular.
It's a good horse steak, isn't it?
It's good horse. It is good eating, as Magic Gary would say. It's just good eating. So I think that he will be fine in the long run. I think he will bounce back. As you said, he is a charismatic man. He is a
Absolutely.
real man. You are truthful.
He's also made millions of dollars. So
he is also very rich and quite white. So I think he will be okay in the end. Yes,
sure.
one of the palest wizards we have. So I think he will be probably absolutely fine. Really. Now I think we probably have time for another. Yeah.
well, we could go to our questions if we want.
Yes. No. Yes.
Great.
I would love to. Yes. Oh my God. We have so much little precious time left. We might as well get to the point of it, which is providing you, our viewers, our audience,
Absolutely.
our companions in the wizarding world, answers to your problems.
Absolutely.
Pumpkin check real quick.
Yeah, I was
get
trying to
complete
cut a
out of
perfect
it.
circle, and I did it perfectly. So I will use this pumpkin to cast spells. I will
That's
use this
your answer.
pumpkin to make calculations. How's yours coming? Oh, yours is. He's adorable. Yeah,
I made two little eyes for him, and
That's-
that's just fine.
fantastic.
That's a little man.
Let's get to some questions there, huh? Okay, so here's our first question of the day. I've been asked to participate in the summoning ritual for my Dark Lord on the Devil's Night. This is one of the most important events of the year, and our entire congregation will be gathered together to witness myself and my brothers during the act. I'm nervous that I'll embarrass myself, or worse, destabilize the world link, causing the summoning to fail. Do you have any advice for maintaining a strong connection with my master's domain and/or remaining calm in front of a crowd?
You want me to start? Absolutely. I understand feeling the pressure. Hold on, I'm adjusting our mirror to get our mirror to look better. Yes, I think I felt a lot of pressure putting this show on. I don't want to compare our tasks with each other, but I think really these are social events. I think you should go in trying to make friends, make it known that you don't really know what you're doing, and I think the other magical entities there will guide you. I don't know. Do your homework. It's the same thing as taking a test. You want to get a good night of sleep beforehand. You want to eat a big breakfast and
Hydrate.
yeah, just in general, take
Hydrate.
care of yourself. Really. And if you blow it, there's other magical entities there. You're going to be fine. Like, you're not going to rip a hole in space-time. Come on. Who's done that?
Who's done that? I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add to that? Do you think I got it all?
No, that's perfect. Fake it till you make it. The confidence will find you after an amount of time.
Yeah. I pretended to be magic for a long time until I figured it out that I actually was, So, absolutely. I don't have them in front of me, actually. Could you keep reading them?
I got him. No worries about it. Okay. When do I get to pick a familiar? Oh, this is a great time. On the topic of familiars, can we go? Can we get a fam? Can we get the?
I completely forgot. Absolutely. Let's look at our little guys.
Take a look at the fam.
Look at
Fam.
them.
There we are. So adorable in the backyard.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to introduce yours?
Yeah. Well, yes. Okay. Mine. I have, but the one who is an eel is mine. Is my familiar. It has been passed down to me throughout the generations of my family. She is vicious and horrifying. And let me just tell you that all the fingers on my hands, not the original ones I was born with. Had to make these up after some incidents with her and her enormous, jagged jaws.
I get that she bites you. She doesn't bite me. Like I go out there and I play with her. It's like totally fine.
You should not do that.
You should not do
will-
that.
I will say though, is that she has mellowed out after hanging out with your.
I was
little
gonna say,
Sprite.
yeah. So my little guy, Sprite, he's wonderful. I made him out of gloop. Sprite is a dog made out of gloop, and he is extremely chill. Look at him. He's always like this.
I love him. Has he ever opened his eyes ever?
No, come on, look at him. He doesn't need them. He's very psychically endowed, and so I don't know. I feel like we have a strong mental connection. He gets around the backyard just fine, and yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he and Diana, is that right?
Yeah, Diana, the Slayer of Man. She was made by a battle mage. My great grandmother was trying to be just like badass, so she so she gave it what she thought was a badass name. I call her Nana.
Yeah, Nana, great, wonderful. I bet they're friends. I mean, I'm telling you, I go out there, we wrestle. It's great. So yeah, I don't know. Maiko, you got a pet? You got a familiar? I mean,
got a familiar?
Alabaster. Sorry.
You can't speak their true names.
I'm
That's
sorry.
so much power.
That's a wizard faux pas.
Oh my god.
Feel myself fading away already. I have a familiar. I have a little grass snake that I found out in the long grass. Hasn't exhibited much magical
Just keep going. You're good.
ability.
She does that.
Know.
She blips in and out. She'll be back. Here, 1 second.
Oh yeah, dimensional traveler.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's so like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're back. You phased out.
She's back. Do you have any memory of where you were just then?
Yeah, it's always the same. I've explained this a lot. Suddenly, the world folds in on itself. It's just light and just streaks of light just streaking past you. You start to hear a hum. It gets louder and louder and louder, and as soon as it becomes unbearable, bam, back to reality.
Nice, cheap legal high.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you did salvia.
I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. I'll tell you that.
Love that. Well, you got another question? Alabaster, are you cool to hang? You can leave if you want. I don't want to pressure you to stay.
I'll stay. No.
Wonderful. We love to have you. We can have some pumpkin juice later, right? Like.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
How
more of it.
refreshing.
Yeah, because he said he liked it so much.
Love it.
Do we have? I don't know what the programming is today for the rest of this network. Do we have any amount of time after this? Because we got.
I think we do. I think so.
Okay.
I'm sure the chat will tell me if someone is wanting to go on the TV station afterwards. She doesn't understand TV stations, but you can talk to me and tell me if we need to stop. But I think let's go long. Let's go long let's do it until we can't.
Okay, great. All right, so to finish this question, when do I get to pick a familiar? Do I pick it or does it pick me? Can it be a computer or something? Your familiar, there are many ways to go with familiar. Zadra, made it out of glue.
Yeah, you can make it, you can find it. Yeah.
You can find it. Personally, I think computer, that's artificial intelligence. You want something with some kind of intuition. So, I mean, objects, you can
have
enchant
a
an
computer
object.
as a familiar. You can complete. Oh no, there he is. But yeah, no. I think you can. Not to cut you off, but imagine, if you will, you have a little computer and you imbue it with a spirit, and that's how different is that from a dog made out of gloop? I don't know. I think it's fine. I think you're a little nervous to use electronics sometimes. You sew by hand, you don't use the sewing machine, things like that. So
Correct. Yeah. In any case, for question asker, you'll find it if you will immediately have a connection with this thing that you're meant to have as your familiar. Does body alteration magic hurt or have any side effects I should know about? I would like to give myself wings of a bird, but I'm worried I'll regret the decision and possibly be unable to change myself back. Have either of you ever done body mod?
it hurts every time. I haven't done much of it because every time I'm like, ouch.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I've been afraid to try after reading the Animorphs series as a boy.
Those are
I was worried.
grisly.
I know, and they say, you stay in one animal's body for too long, you get permanently. I think somebody was stuck being a pigeon or something for the rest of their life at one
That's
point,
bad news.
and that's scarred me. And I know I went through all my training. They said it's perfectly safe. I got my provisional license for
Oh wow.
animagic, but
Mhm.
I just couldn't go through it. It's just not for me, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I've
Just
yeah.
not for
Yeah.
me.
Here's the thing: is it when you do it, it takes a lot out of you. As far as side effects, you're going to be hungry because you have to build. Your body has to build material. I mean, it's magically accelerated and inspired, but you do have to get that material from somewhere. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be tired. You're going to be hot. It's going to take a very very long time, and you can't just cast wings on yourself, right? You have to plan for musculature, for bone structure. There has to be a logos. There has to be a plan before you can magically inspire your body to morph into this way. And depending on the size of your change, yeah, it is definitely permanent. This is new flesh. Both of these new flesh, they're still here. It hurt a lot to make them, but yeah. So just be careful. Have a plan in mind. There's a reason why no everybody's not walking around with like 8 arms and 2 heads and stuff because it's a huge long term process.
It's yeah. You got to think about your clothes. I don't. I mean,
Oh,
like the thing is though, if you want it bad enough, you can alter your clothes and stuff, and you can push through the pain. It really is just about how badly you need wings, how much they fit your lifestyle. So
It
yeah.
would be badass. If you want to be badass, go for it. Do you okay, Alabaster? This might be a good question for you. Do you have any trendy fashion advice for a witch moving from an independent rural practice to an urban coven? I want to stay true to my wild roots, but I also want my new coven to take me seriously.
What a good question.
Great
that is an
question.
excellent question. Yeah, obviously can be very tricky. Just moving to a new place, making new coven friends.
Mm.
And yes, the styles between rural, urban, very very different. Obviously, you two quite good representations of urban, which
Mhm.
is, I would say, the
Mhm.
the very on trend leather and tiny sunglasses. Um,
Neo is
I would say
timeless.
absolutely yes. Well, I mean, when
Like
did
the
the
Mona
Matrix
Lisa.
even take place? Do we know? Yeah, it's just like the Mona Lisa. Uh, I would say perhaps do something that merges both worlds. Have a sort of star spangled dungaree with perhaps as you can see, I'm
Star Spangled
also a
Dungaree.
fairly urban wizard myself
Mhm.
with my beret, which I'm not sure is coming across perfectly
I
through
know.
the
I'm.
through the mirror realm. Uh, it's my own fault, this color it makes my eyes pop, but I never
Uh-huh.
consider what it's going to look like in a magical floating mirror.
Mhm.
Uh, Much is my mistake, which is perhaps something our question asker also wants to consider. What modes of communication are going to be present in this new world?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Also, you can never go wrong with bones. Doesn't matter where you live in. Everybody loves bones. Bone jewelry,
Absolutely,
bone decoration, ornaments, hairpins, whatever.
yeah, we all have bones, as the saying goes.
We all have bones.
Mhm.
Okay, here's a long one, but I think is open for us to be able to help this person figure out. I live in a small village. My neighbor, who is a wizard, this is from a non-magical viewer, works at all hours of the night in his lab. I don't personally care about you magic folk one way or the other, and I don't take issue with his experiments. But the noise and the lights keep me and the rest of the nearby residents from getting proper sleep. Several of them want to chase him out, but I happen to like the fellow otherwise and would hate to rob him of his home. I plan to talk to him tomorrow about a solution, but I'm not sure what should be done. Do you have any advice?
Yeah. So I guess I want to first address like in from the perspective of the wizard, like for magic users watching this, if you're not soundproofing like your like late night experiments and stuff, it's so cheap to do it. You could even you don't if you don't want to spend the money like ordering like the eggshell or whatever, you could also just make magic blackout curtains or something. Like it's not hard.
Joanne Fabrics, $12 a yard.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Not hard.
really you don't even have to get too crazy with it. You could use like honey mustard and an Ethernet cable to kind of like charge them a little bit with some soundproofing abilities, but I don't know. I think this is on the wizard, honestly, because it's just such a solvable problem. But also,
Yeah.
they might not know, and so it's good as the person who asked the question, you should go talk to them and you should be like, hey, I think this is a solvable problem. I don't think you need to be run out of town or put in stocks in the town square or anything like that. And then also
It's
you can use
2020. We don't need to run people out of town anymore. Come on.
exactly. I think also as a wizard, as a magic user, you should be networking with your neighbors and just letting them know, hey, I'm a magic user. That could even open up doors for you. And you, the viewer who asked this, you should use this opportunity to make a magical friend. Like that's going to be great. Like if you're drunk, can't drive home, get a magical lift. Stuff like that.
Totally agree.
Good question.
Next question. I'm an aspiring warlock. Where's the best place for me to find an eldritch being who can be my sugar daddy? Stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 doubloons. Don't do this. You are going to get way more than you bargained for. Eldritch beings, when they speak, your body vibrates apart into atoms. This is way too huge of an ask. I get it. I understand. I'm a demon vessel. I have an otherworldly being inside of me and, helping me, manifest my powers. But this is the wrong school. You need to talk to a demon. You need to talk to fae folk. Do not talk to the eldritch beings. When they look at you, you will turn into light and then phase into the pain dimension, where Lindsay Lohan's Planet Hollywood has been shut down. I remember that. It was a good party, but God, that place was run like a barn.
I played Melee. I played Melee with Lindsay Lohan in the Pain Dimension on GameCube. It was in 2003, 2002. Yeah. Anyway,
who'd she main? Sheik? She looks like a Sheik main.
No, she's a Peach main. And I play Mewtwo. I'm a very cerebral wizard, so I play Mewtwo.
Play Mewtwo.
But yeah, it's something to add on to that. I think if you are just trying to solve the problem of getting a sugar daddy, I think you want to go to I don't know, like the suburbs of Illinois, and you want to find a small business owner dad who has a family and can't do anything he wants ever and just wants to take a nice girl to a buffet. And those men are destroyed and weak, and they have the money to pay for the sugar daddy experience. And so you want to source a weak man. You don't want to source a being that is so large they cannot fathom how small you are. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Even
you need to find somebody who's afraid to go into a Buffalo Wild Wings. That kind of fight.
Yes. You need to find someone who's going to flinch whenever you text them a text that ends in a period. You got to find someone who flinches. And from there you can fund whatever warlock stuff you want. I think that's the way to go.
That's the way to go too.
Yeah.
Alabaster, do you have any insight into this? Eldritch beings. Do you have any experience with with other dimensional entities?
Well, I do. I have to say I'm very disappointed in you, Shadaz, of your old-fashioned views on this. I think the era we're in now, it's that's an old wave, of thinking you're removing the agency from these young wizards and witches and warlocks who want to be encompassed and overtaken and want to be confronted with these visions of indescribable horrors. And I think if that's the choice that they want to make, then that is perfectly valid. Communing with beings beyond our comprehension, beings whose voices, whose visages would melt our innards, is a perfectly valid choice in this day and age. And I think, obviously, I have a responsibility. I'm not going to give you the name of the websites that might hook you up with these people, and also with your product placement rules being what they are. I don't want to get your show in trouble.
Terms of service,
but, yeah, suffice it to say, these places are out there. They're much safer. This stranger danger that used to be associated with them, I just don't think is as big an issue anymore. And look, I'm not ashamed to say I did commune with some beings from the deep to get me through college, and I feel like
we salute you.
I'm happy to go on record saying this. Thank you.
Get vibrated apart. I don't care. This one was a very long question, but the gist of it is there was an entrepreneur running a whirling demon carnival. They changed the structure from a worker co-op to a regressive kind of top-down CEO structure, and now they need protection from thousands of angry demons. And I got a little song for this, and it goes something like this: You're fucked. There's no way out of this. What you need to do is offer your flesh to them. Find one that they all respect and offer your services to them. They're going to take you over and use your body as a vessel. I have experience with this, and what's going to happen is you're going to regress into your mind, and you're going to be, not in control of any of your faculties. But what that can give you time for is planning. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a millionaire, that's something you can offer them, and will keep them from like rending you completely apart. But yeah, find if there's a union organizer or something like that, have a meeting with them. They can take you over, use you to their means, and then maybe somewhere in the middle you can somehow either leave your body, find another vessel, or eventually regain control. I wish you'd come to us sooner, because I think just the whole structure of this thing, like reorganizing demons specifically from a cooperative experience to you trying to lead them. I mean, it just doesn't work. It's not going to
I
work.
do want to just so you have some context to Sheeta Zell's answer is Sheeta's possessed by a demon. Sheeta communes with demons all the time. I think maybe you have to take her answer with a grain of salt because of that. And I would say, with my more earthbound perspective, I'm going to tell it to you straight and zoom in. I think you should rule with an iron fist. I think if you really want to maintain your position above these thousands of demons, you're contradicting yourself by caving in. I think you have reached this point where you are above them, and any amount that you like move away from that, you're just undermining yourself. So you could hire an intermediary to obfuscate your movements. You could also use the intermediary to convince the demons that they are working towards some kind of agreement. Lying, great thing to do as an entrepreneur, really good for you. And you have so much money. You could I don't know, hire some mortals to get killed by the demons, and then the community will hate the demons. They'll be like, hey, we're getting killed by demons, and it's not even your problem anymore, stuff like that. Like, you got to get creative with your millions, and just show absolutely no mercy. If you want to show mercy, you also want to get out. It's one or the other. So that's all I have to say about that.
Alabaster, you communed with demons once. Have you ever communed with demons?
No. Again, something. I mean, I don't want to out myself as a sort of wizardly fraidy cat here, but I do try and stay away from it. I mean, the world that I walk within is already so fraught, so full of peril and mischief that I try not to. I think I'm old enough, I'm wise enough not to invite any other forces. I mean, as you said, we've partied with Lindsay Lohan in the Pain Dimension. That is plenty enough for me. Yes, the one day that her Planet Fitness was open was enough demonic activity for me for a lifetime. I don't wish to invite anymore. No.
Planet Fitness is maybe the most occult. Like, the barrier between our world and the next is the thinnest at Planet Fitness. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Without a doubt.
Effigy check. Little funny guy. I've done it.
Look at him. You did such a good
this?
job.
Okay.
Here. Family photo. Family photo. Yeah.
We got a purple circle. We got Alabaster. We got the two roommates. What's wrong with this?
Incredible.
Happy Halloween.
Cheese.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Asking for a friend. If, theoretically, someone was cursed with a spell that made any pair of shoes she wore a little too tight, how would she break that curse, and how would you recommend she take revenge on the witch who cast it?
Do you want me to go?
Do it.
Do you have an answer? Okay. Yeah. So one thing I would say is, first of all, I think there's probably some kind of tincture or potion you could rub on your feet that wouldn't negate the curse out of your body, but would fit your feet in the shoes. And that's just a temporary remedy, of course. But that leads to my next point, that sometimes there are curses and hexes that you never recover from, and you just have to find your way to add them into your personality, into your practice. and I think it could fuel you. It could. I think you just have to be open to the possibility that maybe you enjoy not wearing shoes like in public or just ever more than wearing shoes. Like this could be a new great thing for you. There's a lot of people out there who don't wear shoes. There's a lot of people who go barefoot. You can find these people online and talk to them. I think it'd be a great support group for you. So I guess I would say, just to recap, you can either go through painstaking lengths to put a liquid on your shoes liquid on your feet every time you want to wear shoes, or you could just embrace it and you could just go around in the world carefree, shoe free. I think that's how I want to respond to
that. My response is this sounds like a minor enough curse. Get thread of her hair, let a little bit of blood. People don't like blood magic. This is small enough that it won't cause any problems.
It's 2020. We're doing blood magic.
Pray to the east. Figure it out. Somebody will help. And they'll come talk to you, and it'll be okay. You'll break it. It's not that big of a deal. As far as revenge, that's your own deal. That's your own bag. We can't advocate for revenge on this platform, but
terms of service.
Terms of service. Okay, here's a fast one. I already ate breakfast today, but I'd like to go back and eat it again. What's the best way to go about this?
You got it. I know exactly how you feel about this.
Make another breakfast. You don't need to use magic for everything. Just make another breakfast. You're an adult.
You can make a second sandwich. You can just make it. Like I promise. If you're spending your magic on having another breakfast, that's just taking away from the magic you can do later. It's just so easy to just make. It's important that you make another breakfast. Yeah, do that for yourself. Come on.
Alabaster, what's the most petty thing that you've spent your magic on? Do you have a habit? Is there something you love to avoid that you just loves to spend your magic on, so you don't have to deal with it?
Well, often when I'm in the line at the coffee house, again, not going to say which one, get you in trouble, but quite often I just put I barely want to admit this, just a little bit of a laxative curse on everybody in front of me, just to make the lines a little shorter.
Alabaster.
He's a rascal. He's a rascal.
I know.
He's a rascal. We said it. He said it.
I'm a stinker. I know. Or rather, I'm creating some stinkers, I should say. But they, I know what you're thinking as well. I'm going to get so many tweets about this. How all the simpler ways I could banish them, kill them, banish them to different dimensions.
But it's also part of your wacky character, and I think I respect that. I want to change my answer a little bit. If magically making a second breakfast is part of your wacky character, maybe that's important to you, and I think maybe you should follow that. It's really, you got to embrace the swagger of being your own kind of wizard, and every wizard does something silly, like being silly. People like Sheetazel don't want you to really like focus on the silly parts sometimes, but I think it's important to get your own flow going with whatever kind of rituals you need. So that's that.
Yeah,
make a second sandwich.
Follow your bliss, make it a second sandwich. Speaking of that, are tomes bound with human skin worth the extra cost of leather bound?
Similar.
First of all, I know this came from a necromancer. Your guy's aesthetic is gross. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's fucking gross. I can never get into it. The dead stuff, the skeletons, the flesh, the lightning towers. Fucking the last place that I lived. I'm just gonna go on a tangent here. The last place that I lived. I was living in this house down an alleyway. There was this necromancer who got into the city council. Don't know by what. It must have been connections. I don't know. Got into the city council, got into an influential position, rezoned his house, his property, so he could build a wizard's tower, a whole tower, right in the middle of a city block. This thing goes up, swirling clouds, lightning, all hours, night, day, blotted out the sun. It was terrible. It was a bad scene. Undead hordes clawing at everybody's back door. Oh, I'm Ringo Starr. I'm back from the dead. Come join us. It was a nightmare. In any case, if you're gonna go in with the necromancer stuff, you obviously need to spend the extra money on the human skin.
This is the thing. Yeah, they're like mall punks, or like when goths get old and they like have money and they like become even stronger goths. Like it's like everybody's got to know who the necromancer in town is with the big tower and the necromancer vanity plate. You know, it might say like I love bone or something. You know, something like that.
Love to bone is a favorite.
Yeah, that's a necromancer vanity plate for sure.
The spikes. You're always putting spikes on everything, jutting out.
Yeah,
and stuff.
for 100%. Yeah. I've completely lost my train of thought because of my rage for them. But I think we hate them in different ways. I think some of that stuff is cool, and I also think I think this is evident that you are not a evergreen Matrix costume wearer, because I think you're maybe just tripping through it. Maybe it's just a phase, because I think some parts I can respect the aesthetics of it, is all I'm saying.
I'll take that.
I'm sensing a new scandal to report on next week.
No, come on. No scandals from us, Alabaster. You leave that to the celebrities. We're not paying this.
You can take it to the bank. I don't care.
You guys are celebrities. What are you talking about?
We're on TV.
Yeah. You're on TV.
On Wizard TV, okay? It's not widely seen. How about a lightning round? Real quick.
Okay.
I want from both of you. I want Zadra to do an answer, and then I want Alabaster. Okay, here we go. As a wizard, what's the best way to stay in shape throughout the winter?
Pull-ups.
It's got to be body mods. I know I went against it, but if you're going simple, just think about pecs until you've got pecs.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
You also got to keep your mind sharp in the winter. So thinking about an equilateral triangle, a parallelogram is great to think about. Just got to keep yourself sharp.
Yep. How would one go about obtaining toad's breath at this time of year?
I'd probably go on Etsy. Etsy, it's like Wizard eBay. If there's a park near you, you might get lucky. It's regional too, I think. A quick substitute though, a substitute that I love is Miracle Whip. Like, don't get the good mayonnaise, get like the really bad mayonnaise. It's so synthetic. It like creates a good film on stuff. I think it's great. I think I use it in a lot of my spells.
I would say just Hexa prints. There are so many of them. There's so many. Who's going to miss half of them? In fact, I mean, there's at least one prince in the news lately that I think nobody's going to miss. Just told him.
You've been reporting on your scandals, Alabaster. Are you checking yourself with this? Or is somebody else?
No, I know exactly which prince
I'm just going to wait until I wreck myself. I don't care.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I keep hearing that I shouldn't use Newt's eyes in my potions if the sclera it has a green tinge, but nobody seems to have an explanation for why. Is this just Hermit's Tale?
Yeah, I think it's more Hermit's Tale. You just want to taste test all of your ingredients, like a chef. Like, imagine a chef making a good like red sauce for like an Italian dish. Yeah, just a little taste test, a little smell test. You know, if it seems like it's bad, throw it out. It's so cheap. Like, you buy it in bulk. Why would you? Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're having trouble sourcing it, I would just throw it out if you have any inclination that it's bad.
Yeah, I would say going cheap is probably the problem here. If you want a good potion, you're just going to have to spend the money on it. Farmers markets, Whole Foods, go to the good places, get the good stuff. There is no substitute for good ingredients.
All right.
Word.
Last question before we round out our program. How to get out of synthesizer?
I know exactly who answers that. Yeah.
Yes, I suspect I know who sent this one too.
And absolutely not. Like,
no, not telling you.
You know what you
did.
You know what you did. You're in there for a reason. Ask us in another 100 years. Okay.
Yeah. No. We appreciate you going through what I'm sure is great lengths to get that sent in, being trapped in a synthesizer. But yeah, just so we're perfectly clear, you're not getting out of there.
No. Well, that's our show on this very happy Halloween. I hope you all enjoy yourselves. Cast as many spells as you can on this most sacred day. We want to thank all of our viewers. And if you had a question, we had so many questions. And if we didn't answer yours, do not be afraid to shoot us another for the next installment.
100%. We enjoyed all of these questions. Like, they were all super good. We got more than we could answer in our long amorphous show. So like, yeah, please ask us more. We really enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time, everybody. Thanks.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.